Greetings all, this is Eldad Amara. Right, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe and share. Most of all, like and share my videos. That way hopefully YouTube's algorithms will share my video to a much wider audience. This video is only going to be a very short video. Right, I want you to get your thinking caps on. Why is it that a lot of black people, I'm not saying all black people, but why is it a lot of black people are concentrated within the inner city ghettos? Why is that? And I'm not saying that you don't find white people, you don't find Hispanic people, right? You don't find Asian people within these ghettos, yeah? But I'm concentrating more specifically on black people. Why is it that you tend to find so many poor black people living in these inner city areas? Is this by design, right, or is it accidental? I don't think that it is accidental. It is by design, because no matter where you go in the world, you tend to find black people concentrated in the inner cities, yeah, in these ghettos with poor facilities, right? And it's funny as well because they're often surrounded by churches, drugstores, police officers, yeah, and guns and violence. So why is this? Why are we so heavily concentrated within the inner city? It is by design. Whilst we live in the inner cities, right, the authorities can keep an eye on us, right? They can keep an eye on us because we're not scattered out all over the place, right? We're predominantly in the inner cities. That way they can keep an eye on us, right? Not only that, they can make a hell of a lot of money from us. We, right, are people that we don't realize how much money the state makes off of people who are poor. These government authorities, right, and these elite people who like to keep us in these ghettos make so much money from us, right? And it's about time that we open up our eyes to see what is really going on. Why is it that we have so many churches in the ghetto? Right? It's a form of control. I'm sorry for those people who go to church, yeah, and who are very dedicated towards the church, the religion and God. But let me tell you, these churches are predominantly put in these inner city areas, right? Because you don't find them so much in the suburban areas, right? Or on the outside of a city, they tend to be more within the inner city areas. Why? It's a form of control. We live in hope all the time that one day we're going to be able to get out of our situation by praying to God. Whilst the people who are controlling us, right, who build these churches, right, are making a hell of a lot of money off our backs. It's about time that we woke up. They're making so much money off us, yeah, by building these churches in these inner city areas. We pray and we hope that one day that God is going to come down and save us, right, and put us in a better place, in a better situation, right? So we become so self-reliant on the church, right? And we don't do things for ourselves. As I said, I'm sorry if I'm offending some people who are coming from a religious background, who are coming from churches. Churches that have, I would say, a positive effect going back years ago, right, during the 60s, yeah, where it was helping us in terms of getting our civil rights. You know, it doesn't really have its purpose now. It doesn't really serve our purpose now. Why is it as well that there are so much drugs and guns within the inner cities? Why are there so much drugs and guns in the inner cities? And not only that, you've got drugstores as well. Yeah, you got stores where you can go and buy alcohol. You don't find that so much in the rich areas. Yeah, you will find a lot of drugstores, yeah, within the poor ghetto areas. And no matter where you go in the world, you tend to find that the pattern is more or less the same. Why, as well, are there so much drugs in the inner city? Why are there so much guns? Why is it that black are taking other black people's lives? Why is it that there's so many police officers, right? Police constantly within the ghettos. Is this a deliberate thing? Is this a deliberate thing that you find generally a lot of police, right, surveilling the ghetto areas? And it don't matter, as I say, if it's Kingston, Jamaica, if it's Mombasa in Kenya, right? It doesn't matter if it's Brazil. You tend to find that the police tend to heavily surveillance the ghetto areas. You know why? I'm going to take it right back to, it's all to do with control and making money from those poor people who are living in these ghettos. Why is it as well? Think about it. These poor people who are selling drugs within the inner city, and I'm not saying that I condone it, but think about it like this. These poor people are selling drugs to each other in the inner city, right? Even sometimes they're selling these drugs to middle class kids who come into the ghetto to buy the drugs and then go back home, yeah? Or some university students or whatever, yeah? But let's take drugs right back to the source. Where does these drugs come back? Sorry, where does these drugs come from? You think about, say, £2 billion worth of drugs, yeah, that the American government has seized. Who in the ghetto can afford £2 billion? Yeah, even £100,000. How many people in the ghetto can afford £100,000, right? To ship drugs from, say, somewhere in the Caribbean or South America over to America. You'd need a lot of organisation to be able to do that, yeah? You'd need a hell of a lot of organisation. You'd need a lot of money to be able to get the ships, to be able to get someone to sell the ships all the way from America, all the way over to, say, South America and back, and to be able to get the drugs through customs, right? Be able to get the drugs onto lorries and to be able to disperse them throughout America. That takes a lot of organisation and a lot of capital. You never ever hear about the deliverers, right? The people who bring the drugs in, ever going to prison. But the people that tend to be going to prison are predominantly the ones that are selling the drugs on the street. Police tend to go into the inner city, right, looking for these so-called drug dealers or the people who sell guns. Look at guns as well. How many people do you know that actually can make a gun? You need a factory to be able to make a gun, right? You need a factory to be able to make a gun, to make firearms. And you got so many different types of firearms, yeah? You got submachine guns, yeah? You got your oozes, yeah, your Tech 9 and all the rest of it. Tell me something. These people who make these guns, right, they sell them to other countries, yeah? They need a manufacturing plant to be able to make the guns, right? And then to be able to sell the guns to other countries. Drugs and guns are massive ways for the government and for the elite to make money. No poor people I know can make guns. There is no poor people I personally know that's ever made any guns. And a gun is made for two purposes that I can think of. One, to kill someone, and the other, to defend people. But you know what? More often or not, guns are used to take lives. The people behind this thing, the people that's making these guns, right? They must have some kind of sick mind. They must have a very sick mind. Why would you be making guns in order to take lives? You're making guns to take lives and to make money. You don't see the manufacturers getting locked up for producing guns, do you? You never see that. If the guns weren't made in the first place, probably there wouldn't be so much crime going on within the inner city areas. Do you agree with me or not? Do you agree with me on this point? If people, right, who make the drugs, such as chemists, and I don't know no black people, right? I don't even know any white people who are poor, yeah, who are alchemists, who know how to make drugs, how to make crystal meths, how to make cocaine, how to make heroin, yeah, how to make all these other drugs, yeah, such as ketamine. Again, with these drugs, you got to have a certain mind state, right? Why are you making these drugs? What is the purpose of making these drugs? Yeah, these people, the scientists and the pharmacists and the alchemists and all the rest of them, how and why are they making these drugs? And how do they get into the inner city? These people who make these drugs, you never hear about them, right, being targeted. It's always the people, the poor peoples in the inner city, right, that are being targeted over these drugs. Again, a shipment. If someone's shipping in cocaine, yeah, how the hell can any poor person bring in a shipment of drugs worth £2 million or £6 million? Who you know in the ghetto got that kind of money? In the inner city, do you know, can make crack cocaine, right? Can make heroin. I'm talking about from scratch, yeah? Who can make crystal meths and all these other things, yeah? And what kind of mind these people have who make these things? And why don't these people ever seem to get arrested and go to prison? Let me tell you, the ghetto is a casserole system. What do I mean by that? You see, one system feeds off of another system, right? So you got the police, yeah, and they're patrolling the inner cities looking for these drug dealers, yeah. The drug dealers end up going to court, yeah, and once they go to court, they then go to prison, and from prison they may see a psychiatrist whilst they're in prison, right? Then they got the prison guards, okay? right? You've got like your parole officers. They're all making money. They're all making money off of poor people. They're all making money off of these people being in the inner city. That's why they need to keep them poor, because they're making so much money off of them. Think about it. The police officer, he's in the ghetto. He's probably on £25,000-30,000 a year, right? He arrests people that are selling drugs or guns, right? These people go to court, yeah? Then they're criminalized. The judges and the lawyers are making some big bucks, yeah, from these cases, right? Then these people then end up going to prison. And from in prison, they're making goods, right? Free labor. Free labor whilst they're in prison, right? On chain gangs and all that sort of thing, yeah? Then from inside prison, they're probably seeing psychiatrists, yeah? The psychiatrists are also making their money, okay? And then you've got the prison guards and the prison officers, yeah? They're also making some money. Can't you see? It's about time you woke up. It's about time you woke up. This inner city life that we're living is a deliberate thing that's been created, right, by the elite. By the elite. They knew exactly what they were doing when they set up these ghettos. It's about time you woke up. Most of you are walking around with your eyes wide shut. It's about time you open up your eyes and see what's really going on. Whilst you're in the ghettos, they're killing off each other, yeah? Supplying drugs that's killing off the minds of your brothers and sisters. You need to wake the fuck up. You seriously need to wake up. The ghettos were deliberately created all around the world, right, in order to feed the mouths of these rich elite people. Wake fucking up. Wake up. You got your eyes wide shut. Your eyes wide shut. I don't see any way of us getting out of our situation, right? I think things are getting much worse. Although there's a lot of people out there that are trying to do very positive things, right, for our community. I think we're so far entrenched in the system, right, that we aren't going to get out of it, and we haven't got much time. We haven't got much time on our hands to be able to come out of it. We have not got much time left to come out of it. I don't really see a way out of it at this present time, because too many of us are sleeping, and that also accounts for poor white kids, poor Hispanic kids, yeah, poor Asian kids, and poor people in general. You're so entrenched and so sucked into this system, you cannot see anything else. And now you got AI coming in, right? You better wake up before AI comes in to full effect, because then it will be the end. Then it will be the end of you. You have no more use. You're walking around with your eyes wide shut. Wake the fuck up. One final thing before I finish off this video. Who were Horace Smith and Daniel Beard Wesson? I wrote it down a little bit too long. Wasn't expecting this video to be so long, right? But anyway, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe and share. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for you to try and wake you up. So please subscribe and share. Thank you.